Hello my friend. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video to provide more. Vampire is considered one of the characters mentioned in ancient myths thousands of years ago, and it contained stories about demonic creatures, and bloodsucker spirits, and from here many films and cinematic topics revolving around the vampire stories were launched, and there are many people who believe these characters exist on the ground. We will show you in this article the medical interpretation of the state of vampires, in addition to the vampire in the myths of Mesopotamia, and the vampire in the myths of India. Vampire fact or fiction. Medical interpretation of the condition of vampires. Many people have been accused since ancient times of being vampires, and some were arrested while sucking the blood of others from the victim who was unconscious, or lifeless, and from this standpoint they were called vampires. Modern science has explained this phenomenon as a medical condition in which the patient suffers from paleness of his skin, and sensitivity to sunlight, due to the presence of an enzyme deficiency that causes changes in the shape of the body, such as recurring gums, abdominal problems, and skin problems. The reason for the enzyme deficiency is caused by the presence of a deficiency in a part of the human blood that is carried with oxygen. In theory, we see that people with this disease have a feeling of fatigue, weakness, and fatigue, so they resort to eating human blood in order to feel comfortable. This condition is called porphyria, and there is no evidence that people with this disease are vampires. Vampire in the myths of Mesopotamia. The vampire was known in the Babylonian civilization as the character of Lilith, a devil sucking the blood of humans, and derived from her similarity to the Jewish culture of Lilith, a demon that addresses the blood of infants, and was mentioned in many Hebrew writings as the first wife of Adam before his marriage to Eve, and left Adam to become a queen on demons, and in other writings mentioned that God punished her for not accepting marriage to Adam, by expelling her from heaven. And in order to preserve the children from her, the parents of children hung a talisman on the cradle to keep the demonic attacks away from them. There is also a Mashto, the daughter of the god of heaven Anu, described as a terrifying, blood-sucking creature, whose head is the head of a lion, and the body of a donkey, but unlike Lilith, it protects pregnant women, especially when the birth date approaches, and after birth. A macho kidnaps the child, she eats his flesh and drinks his blood. Vampires in Indian myths were mentioned in Indian ghoul-like myths, and they dwell inside the corpses, and they are called Vitala, and the gods Kali is also mentioned in Indian myths, which includes 4 arms, and on the collar of the skulls. They inhabit the corpses, and many of the bodies were built temples in all parts of the country are close to graves, due to their attachment to blood and corpses. In the end, we would like to make it clear that the vampire character is fiction and not real. Thank you for following us. We ask you to subscribe to the channel and press the like button to offer you more, God willing. Thank you.